everybody was waiting for some kind of something on the Epstein files, right? We were waiting and waiting, and now apparently it's all being put to bed because there's no there, according to Kash Patel and Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino. And it's a little concerning. I mean, you get MAGA people saying like, this is crazy, right? Because hang on, didn't they just tell us like over and over and over again that there was a client list and that, you know, his death was super suspicious, and didn't Patel and Bongino and Bondi always promise to get to the bottom of it? I remember Pam Bondi saying this on Fox.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Okay. But the files were on her desk. The list, she said, was on her desk. So then why are we looking at a statement from DOJ saying there's no list? There was no murder. There is no blackmail, nothing nefarious somehow. We're like, excuse me? Like, this doesn't totally add up now, does it? I mean, again, when you think about all the things that Pam had come out and said herself.
We all did. And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m. Thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Kash is also, now that we have Kash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Kash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Okay, I want to be clear because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more. You were expecting more, and you didn't find out less than 24 hours before the release. You got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure. And you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. You know, there were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff? And that's what the FBI had turned over to us. And so a source said, whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York. Yep. So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Kash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, you know, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254. Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received.
Okay, so if there were thousands of pages of documents, then what the heck happened? What happened to the thousands of video hours? They did release this, so let me show you.
That's transparency.
Sure. Oh, forgive me. Okay. That's the White House's response. Before we get to that, I want to show you the Epstein cell video that they released. Okay, so not a lot going on here, but at some point you see some people, their point was trying to be that like nobody had come in and done anything weird. But then the internet started going crazy because somebody went back and watched the entire 11 hours. And I guess it turns out when you see that, there may be a missing minute. This is what the internet, all of like X is lighting up about right now, because what is that about? And I think they're going to have to answer more questions, which is exactly what Caroline found herself getting hit with today by the Fox reporter who's like, wait a second, she said on our air on Fox that she had the list, and now you're saying there was no list? That doesn't add up.
That's transparency.
Follow up on that,
sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report, this systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk.
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News.
Got the quote.
Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was
What?
saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI and the Department of Justice, they are more than committed to ensuring that bad people are put behind bars. They have an operation going on right now called Summer Heat, which has our murder rate trending in the lowest direction in United States history. Their emphasis on violent crime and locking up violent criminals has led to the arrest of 14,000 violent criminals. That's a 62% increase from the same time period last year. So this Attorney General and the FBI Director are committed to putting bad people behind bars where they belong. They promised an exhaustive review. That's what they did. For any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
Okay.
I think the DOJ is going to have to answer a lot of questions, okay? And of course, the suspicions are mounting. People are saying, oh, this was like some kind of conspiracy between U.S. intel and other intel divisions around the world where they were knowingly doing this together. And so they don't want to be implicated. And consequently, they're going to make this whole thing go away. It just kind of hurts when it was these very people that kept saying, we can't let it go away, that are now out there saying it's all going away. Right? Like that's where like it just sort of blows you away. Like you have all this mistrust and distrust, right, of the deep state to begin with. Given everything that happened, right, between March 2020, given what happened with the Hunter Biden laptop that was supposed to just be Russian misinformation, disinformation, given the Russia thing, like there's a history of mistrust. Nobody believes this government to begin with. And so, or the deep state, I should say. And now you're in a situation where the very people that came into power that were supposed to expose all this are sitting there saying, no, there's no story. Nothing to see here. You can understand, right? Like it doesn't really kind of add up. And even Elon, who by the way is trying to start his own party, is getting kind of mad at this. Elon Musk is saying this is bogus. Come on, like who's on first? I loved this meme he put out. He's like, okay, here we are. We're going to release the list. I don't know. We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. We got it. Oh no, there's no list. I mean, come on, people. Which is it? Why is this happening? So this is going to be important, you know, as Elon tries to start his own party and he says he wants to have the American party, he'll be able to use this for better or for worse, right? To kind of divide and conquer himself because he's sitting there saying, well, wait, are you guys lying to us again? And there are a lot of people that are going to think that, yeah, he might be, you know, a lot of people might be lying. Anyway, Donald Trump did respond to Elon looking to have his own party. And he wrote that, you know, I'm saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that he never succeeded in the White House. Okay, so he goes on and on and on. And, you know, he's a little bitter now, and none of it's pretty. Scott Cullen, thank you for your generosity. Actually, a few of you guys today, much appreciated. Charlotte as well. It is unbelievable, right? This what we've been seeing from people. So sad indeed. But it's sort of crazy. And 200 Watt Studio saying, you know, that video is not even of the cell. I do think that this is going to help Elon in his endeavor to try and maybe create another party, because if it turns out there was some there and people are trying to cover it up, that's a problem. Anyway, Elon responded to Donald Trump's truth saying, I'm not reading that. I'm happy for you though, or sorry that happened. Like basically, I'm just not reading that, right? Because it's a lot. It's like a volume. It's a volume that he's writing.